all throughout the Democratic convention, including Hillary Clinton, Democratic voters aren't in quite that mood. So they're speaking to Democrats who aren't as angry. But they're trying to get you to think, yes, we have some problems, but listen to Hillary Clinton here. We have problems, but if we stay optimistic, we might fix them.
We are clear-eyed about what our country is up against, but we are not afraid. We will rise to the challenge, just as we always have. We will not build a wall. Instead, we will build an economy where everyone who wants a good job can get one.
There is this competition about mood, and the mood of the voter affects sort of what they think about the direction of the country. And she needs that arrow to be going up. You get closer to election day, people, maybe you're anxious, maybe you're worried about crime, maybe you're worried about terrorism, but okay, we're gonna get through this. Donald Trump benefits if people are thinking, oh, that's a change environment.
Yeah, I mean, that was the balance he was trying to strike, especially since there's a Democratic president in the White House who's trying to argue that he's had a successful 8 years in the country, is headed in the right direction. But that was the real risk on this convention. They tried to strike the sunnier side of how the country is looking right now, because if they look out of touch to those voters, particularly in the Rust Belt, which is going to be a key battleground this year, how does that look to them when you're talking about how great things are in this country?
You mentioned the Democratic president, so let me bring him in. I think that the Clinton people want the Obama coalition. They want his help on the trail. They want Michelle Obama's help turning people out. That embrace the night before after the president's speech was a signature moment for the Democrats, but it's also likely to show up in Donald Trump ads, saying we've had 8 years of President Obama. Economic growth today, the administration said 1.2% in the last quarter. That's pretty sluggish. You have the terrorism issues happening overseas. So here's Hillary Clinton trying to make the case. This is George H.W. Bush in 1988 tried the same kind of thing when Ronald Reagan came in and said, we are the change. You want to say we're not the status quo, but you still want to keep us.
But none of us can be satisfied with the status quo, not by a long shot. My primary mission as president will be to create more opportunity and more good jobs with rising wages.
Let me play one more little piece here, because she didn't criticize the president at all. In fact, she praised him highly. But if you listen here, it's a little bit of implicit saying the Democratic Party, and the President Obama was, at least until last night, the head of it, hasn't been listening closely enough.
Democrats, we are the party of working people. But we haven't done a good enough job showing we get what you're going through, and we're going to do something to help.
That there, to me, was the I get it. In the Rust Belt states you just mentioned, a lot of guys who work with their hands might sit around in the bar afterwards thinking, let's do something different. Let's try something else. And for some reason, one reason or another, they don't like Hillary Clinton, sort of blue-collar workers who might have been Sanders voters, but now might be available to Donald Trump.
It was the most explicit statement that was made throughout the entire convention aimed at the Donald Trump core constituency. Right. For the most part, they were missing in action in the way people were talking about the state of the country or the appeals that they were making, the issues that they were raising. She's not going to win over white working class men. She has an opportunity to cut into Trump with white working class women, and that was a kind of a minimum down payment to begin to try to do that.
Yeah, and they'll try to do that. I mean, they're obviously that's why the convention was in Pennsylvania. They're going to go to different regions in Pennsylvania, Harrisburg and Pittsburgh, and then go to Ohio. But this is their big challenge. I mean, are they going to be able to kind of offset these losses among working class white men? Obama didn't do obviously very well among the working class white men, and I think one of the things they're obviously trying to do is see if they can pick up some Republican voters. I mean, every Republican who I talked to felt like in some ways the Democrats were stealing some of their best material. I mean, the flags, the military, the Constitution moment with Mr. Khan and his son. So I think they do see opportunities there. They can offset some of these losses, which will certainly be losses among working class.
And so now we start the new chapter. We're going to watch this bus tour. And again, if Secretary Clinton or Tim Kaine speak, we'll get you back there live. They're going to get up through the heartland, as you said. We're into the campaigning phase. We're into the next couple of weeks where pick your states, right? You test some themes, you test some things. Where are the battleground states going to be? But we know Donald Trump got a bounce out of his convention. And then the question is, how much does the pendulum swing back after what the Democrats think was a very successful convention? And we'll get into the numbers later, but the instant polls seem to suggest that it was a good convention for Secretary Clinton. So Donald Trump this morning, he has not spent one dime in general election spending on television ads. But this morning, the first general election ad from Donald Trump trying to limit Secretary Clinton's bounce.
Behind the glitter lies this stark truth. In Hillary Clinton's America, things get worse. Under her dishonest plan, taxes keep rising, terrorism spreads. Washington insiders remain in control. Americans losing their jobs, homes, and hope. In Donald Trump's America, people are put back to work. Our families are safe. The American dream achievable again. Change that makes America great again.
Change, and she's the insider, and it's gloomy and dark when it's Hillary Clinton, and it's kind of Reagan-esque when you get to the back half of that.
Well, and I thought it was very interesting that this was also the Trump campaign's response to the speech last night, was to say that it was a fiction, that this glossy facade was not to be believed because the American people know how bad things really were. That struck me as, first of all, an implicit acknowledgement that Hillary Clinton put on a very good campaign commercial. And if you believed what she was saying, you would probably feel pretty good about things. Second, to Nia's point about Democrats sort of co-opting Republican messaging, the Democrats turned this into a patriotic message, accusing Republicans of tearing down America, saying America is already great over and over and over again, and chanting USA. A lot of Republicans felt like that was co-opting a message of patriotism and turning that into a Democratic argument.
This had also an implicit acknowledgement that perhaps Donald Trump's message at the convention was a bit too gloomy. To have that at the end saying, oh, optimistic, Donald Trump can change America, everything will be great. You heard a little bit about the convention, but the convention was mostly painting this picture of a bleak America, and that was, of course, the criticism that came out.
Excellent.
I think Molly's point about the patriotism and stealing that away from the Republicans is so crucial to what was going on this week. But the line they have to walk is, as you suggested, you can't be overly sunny. You can say this is a great country, and in a sense you can say the country we now have, a very diverse country, a changing country, a country that's going through a dramatic transformation, is in fact a great country, but it isn't a perfect country. And that's the message she's got to deliver.
And can Donald Trump alone sort of be the embodiment of hope and optimism? Can he stay on that message? It appears he has trouble oftentimes staying on a singular
Discipline.
message.
You think,
discipline. Yeah, he seems to have a discipline
one or two
problem.
examples of that.